All right, everybody. Is the PlayStation VR2 worth the price of admission? That is our next topic. I'm not done yet, Jason. Jeez.
Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.
All right, next article. Hold your opinions for the end. I didn't ask your opinion yet.
I thought you did. You asked the question.
No, it's a
Here's
rhetorical question about. So let me set it up. Okay.
Okay.
Y'all
ready.
shut up.
Ready.
Hang on a second.
Ready.
We're gonna set this up. Okay.
Ready.
So here's what we're talking about here. News article just came out. PlayStation VR2 has a release date. It is coming out February 22nd, 2023. The price point is set at a whopping $550. It will include eye tracking that follows your line of sight. There's 4 integrated cameras to track your body position in real time, and each eye will have 2000 by 2040 resolution, which is more than any headset I think on the market right now. There's a 120 hertz refresh rate and an OLED HDR display for both eye. It also has a 110 degree field of view, which is bigger than the MetaQuest, which I think is 90. So it's 20 degrees more field of view, and it is wired with one single USB-C connection. And there's 11 games announced for launch, so we'll talk about those later. But first, I want to ask the question to the panel. How do y'all feel about $550 for the PlayStation VR costing more than the PlayStation 5 itself?
No.
Yeah, I ain't buying that.
Yeah, no.
I mean, let's just compare them to the other headsets. Valve, what you call it?
Valve Index.
Yeah, that's like $1,000.
Jesus.
Then how much is the Quest?
It's like
$250. They just raised the price of the Quest to $100.
So it's $400 now? $300.
$399.
$399.
Look up.
Is that the one you
PC.
connect
It's a
with your
Vive Pro
phone?
2. That's what it is. That's the newest one that they brought out. No, that was something else. This is a full blown PC VR experience. Connects through Steam.
The
VR.
ultimate PC VR experience.
This one's like I think $1,500, something like that.
Jesus
God
Christ.
dang.
That thing better. Never mind.
We're going to add it to my cart.
$13.99. Go down. I want to go down to the specs on the Vive Pro though. Actually,
Okay.
I want to see what the Vive Pro specs are.
There we go. Yeah.
Combined resolution of 4896 by 2448. So this other one is 4000. So it's about the same actually, almost.
You're just buying like accessory to a console.
Yeah.
That's wired. How?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Like it's not worth it, man.
So how far has
But it is.
It's not.
VR come since
It had.
like the first PlayStation VR? Like obviously when that came out, it was a great value because it
Yeah.
wasn't super expensive.
Yeah.
And it was a luxury item, but it wasn't going to break the bank.
Yeah.
And it had a decent amount of experiences out there. There weren't even games. Like they barely had any games. They have more games now. There's a few that I think a lot of
But
people.
still, it was like
grabbed
like
onto.
you said, it was still a great experience.
Yeah.
Like I highly enjoyed my PSVR.
Yeah.
I played the shit out of it.
It wasn't the Vive. It wasn't
No.
HTC Vive. You know, the Quest came out, and I think it had a similar. The original one had like a similar experience with comparable to the PlayStation VR. But then obviously, the Quest Pro or whatever the other renditions of it actually got way better, and it wasn't even attached.
Yeah.
Like that was the greatest part.
That's the best
and
part.
now you're going to spend something that's almost twice the amount. It is twice the amount. The
Yeah.
original. It would be a little more or twice the amount of the original Quest, which was wireless, which makes it like the headset to get. Even now, like going wireless is like key.
Yeah.
But I think they're trying to figure out a way. Like they want you to get a PlayStation, and they're not trying to sell something to compete with the Quest. So they want it to be
think
tied
that's-
to the PlayStation.
So not having their separate.
So if they have it separate, they just sell it separate. Which at this point, at that price, it should just be separate. Like,
It should be separate.
go ahead.
It should.
Well, so the original PSVR was $349.
No, I mean, gotcha.
It's $349 now, which is so it's actually more than I thought it was. But so this is an extra $200 basically for the new one, and it's but it's twice the quality in visual fidelity, which is it's a big step up. And it's just one cable. But what I was really surprised by is that it's still what's really
just one cable.
but it's still not wireless, which sucks because it's like I feel like at this point in time, like we need to have it be like a wireless headset. The other thing I was really disappointed about with this is that it still requires it requires external headphones. There's no headphone, no audio built in, which I think is like a huge miss on their part. Because with the Meta Quest, at least, like they have it built in. It's not great speakers, but it's like it's
It's
nice not to
enough
put a
where you
headphone
can
on,
feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all in one. Like you don't need anything else.
Yeah,
Like
that
you
would've
know
been
what you're
made it
getting, and it's
better.
worth
Yeah.
every penny of it.
I am really curious to know what the fit, because I can't without seeing it, I can't picture like what 2000 by 2000 or whatever like looks like how big of a difference that's going to be as far as like visual fidelity, and then the field of view is just a little bit bigger than the PSVR. So I'm curious to know if it's like, holy shit, this is a huge like visual difference, or if it's just like, it's fine, you know what I mean? So but it's like it's hard to justify $550 to see if that's different, you know? Like,
Exactly.
it's a very hard justification, especially when it still requires you, because ultimately you're not buying a $500 headset, you're buying a $1,050 headset because you have to have a PlayStation 5,
with it.
which
That's
is still
if you
hard
can
to
get
get.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still hard to get.
And with it being tethered, like you're still stuck in
It's
like
still
a very, 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 very small area of movement.
Well, yeah, because you are
If
limited
anything at
also to
all.
where your PlayStation's set up, which
That
largely
too,
is in the
yeah.
living room.
So it's going to be one of
And-
those roller coaster
And you,
experiences for the most part.
And like that was my biggest issue. Like I would get out of field of range because you had to have the PlayStation camera set up for the PSVR. I would get out of the field of range, but I would get back in. But whenever I was playing Walking Dead Saints and Sinner, and I would have to turn around completely to fight off a zombie chasing me, that cable got wrapped around my neck and it just snapped. Well, not snapped, but I was pulling stuff off of my entertainment stand. And I'm like, this is still going to be a big issue. And like what you were saying, they should just, I don't know, sell it separately, have it wireless. The technology's there, and just go that route. It's just linked to the PlayStation Store.
I mean, it's already got Bluetooth.
Yeah. I don't.
You know, maybe it just takes. Maybe they can't find the right battery for it.
I'm happy-
last long.
The one thing I am happy that they did upgrade the controllers. That's
That's a huge
that was
one
a
for
huge
sure,
one.
yeah.
I mean, I did not mind the PlayStation Move controllers at all. I thought they felt good in my hands, especially like playing Beat Saber or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's nice to see they updated that and they put the camera in the goggles themselves.
Yeah,
but,
you don't need the external camera
Yeah,
anymore.
but it's just I don't think it's worth the price at all.
Yeah, I kind of more expected, like if this was like $450, I'd be like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. It's still more expensive, but it's like
Once you go
you
above
have
the
4K,
500,
it reduces a lot of
Yeah,
accessories
it's
and stuff like
like-
that.
And it's just an accessory. It's just an attachment to your PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
so you still have to get a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
top of it.
yeah, it's very, very pricey. But
And at that point, just if you ever have a computer, just get the Valve Index.
yeah,
I think
Or
you
just
have
get a
more
Quest.
experiences available.
I still think
and-
the Quest is like the
the
best
Quest is
value.
still-
I mean,
that
it's
too,
not
you're
the
right,
best
you're right, you're right,
quality,
you're right.
but it
I don't even own a
definitely
PC
is
and I have a Quest. I mean,
great.
like,
Yeah. Don't get the Quest Pro though, because that was annoying.
2
But
hours of game.
The other thing I want to mention too is so they also announced in the announcement of this coming out in February, they announced 11 games that will be coming out with it at launch.
Okay.
And this is the other thing that I think is also very disappointing in the fact that they're trying to sell and push this headset on people,
Yeah.
early adopters or whatever. And most games like consoles when they launch don't have a huge lineup of games. But I was disappointed to see the lineup here because a lot of them are like, well, I'll talk about them and then we can like go back and discuss. But obviously Horizon Call of the Mountain is going to come with it at launch. That was something that there was also a launch bundle. So for an extra $50 for $600, you can get the VR2 plus the game included. But then they're going to bring out the Dark Pictures Switchback VR, which is another like roller coaster ride kind of game for the Dark Pictures theme. Crossfire Sierra Squad, which is based off the Crossfire game series. A game called The Light Brigade. That seems cool. It's new. Cities VR. Cosmonius High, which looks silly. Hello Neighbor Search and Rescue. Jurassic World Aftermath. Pistol Whip's coming to it.
that's what would be a good one.
Yeah, a game called Zenith: The Last City, After the Fall, Tentacular. But none of these games are like games that are big games that I've heard of, with the exception of After the Fall looks good. Zenith looks interesting. Pistol Whip we know is good, but it's already a game that's out for other platforms.
Yeah, and there's a lot of movement in that game.
Yeah,
That's what that cable's just gonna.
there's a lot here that there's nothing here that just like this is the huge system seller, except for maybe Call of the Mountain. Problem with Call of the Mountain is we don't know what this game is yet, really, other than they've shown it some pretty visuals. But like, how long is this game? Is it a 15-hour game? Is it a 2-hour experience. You know what I mean? Like we don't know what depth. I mean, it seems like it's $50, so it should be a full length game, but it's still unclear. And that was kind of disappointing that there wasn't any other big heavy hitter games here that like really caught my eye, except for Horizon, which has already been out and talked about.
Yeah, you might as well just get a different VR headset at this point. Because
Like
I'm just looking at here on Steam. I mean, you got Saints and Sinners, which I know is on the Quest.
Mm-hmm.
You got Cosmic Trip. You have Super Hot VR. You got
Also on the Quest.
Space Pirate, Arizona Sunshine. You got No Man's Sky, which might only be Valve. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's just on Valve.
Half-Life Alyx, if you get Valve.
That would have been a big one. If Half-Life Alyx was on this, that would have been huge.
Oh yeah,
that would have been.
They're not going to do that.
Been a seller for
Oh
sure.
look, Trover Saves the Universe.
that one's a good one. I played that one. That one's really.
I want
good.
to play that.
That one's fun.
So I feel like there's just so many other games out. For
that was on the PlayStation.
Everything else. Is it on the PlayStation?
Trevor? Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's on the
Okay,
PlayStation.
cool,
I played it
cool.
all the way through. It's amazing.
It's
the other
there's
thing
just
that's
so many
funny,
options,
too,
so many more options.
It's not backwards compatible.
Wow.
Oh,
What?
shit.
So if you
That's
buy
horrible.
So if you
PSVR games, they don't work on the PSVR2.
Yeah,
Wow.
no, it's not worth it. Fuck that.
Damn,
No,
that's just
no.
a killer. Why would that
Yeah.
even be possible?
How?
I don't know.
How?
I was very surprised.
What? Yeah, no. 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 No.
Well, I just don't. It's not it's a small step for PlayStation. It's a very small step. It's like a half step, honestly. I'm just trying to think because we talked about the Meta Quest Pro and with the future of VR and where we're going. And, like you're right, like you got to make these things super accessible for people to just start wearing them. And I feel like augmented reality is probably more the way to go because you put on some glasses or some goggles or whatever, and you can walk around and hell, imagine playing Pokemon Go like that.
Yeah.
Like that would be so much fun to
that'd
have
be fun.
augmented reality, walk around town, which
It's cool. The problem with the augmented reality is it's so like not good right now. The tech's not near where it needs to be because
I agree,
They
I
have
agree.
AR in Pokemon Go, but nobody
Yeah.
ever uses it because it looks like shit.
right.
Because it's
Well,
like
it's just-
your
it's
little
just
character
super-
just like floating in the middle of the
Yeah,
air.
and it
basically,
stutters because it's trying to figure out stuff.
doesn't
Yeah.
quite work right. So that's the hard part with that, and that's what's been holding it up for so long.
Yeah,
Is that it just isn't quite there where we need it to be. But
right.
I was super excited for the PSVR2 and the fact that this is a headset that's pushing virtual reality gaming.
Yeah.
Focus on gaming, not MetaQuest, who's like, let's build this headset where you can use Excel in virtual reality. They're like actually giving you games to play, but it's like it's just a lot. It's a lot of money. I thought it would go down in price in some capacity versus the first one. Because I actually think when the PSVR launched, I'm pretty sure it was $500 or $600 to get the whole package. Because you had to get, I know you got Black Friday, which they ended up dropping the price on.
It was
but
like $250
early launch because
Yeah.
you had to buy the PSVR headset, you had to buy the Move controllers, you had to buy the camera, all that stuff
Look,
combined.
full kit was $500.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I'm pretty sure I spent more than like $300 for that.
Jesus, you
headset.
spent more than that.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And that
So-
would be $618 in 2022.
Yeah, so it's really not much different price wise. It's just it's not comparatively speaking.
At the time, I feel like that was near the height of VR, at least the height.
Yeah.
Because everyone was coming out with these devices and everyone was excited and all these people were excited to get on these games and really like dive in. And I was excited even though I wasn't going to get one. And I think leading up to the pandemic, you kind of had a decent upward trajectory with like hype and everyone. Because I remember there was another one like, dang, what was it? There was another company trying to come out with the headset that was kind of like the Valve Index, which I don't know what happened to that. But I felt like after the pandemic, man, I don't know if it's ever going to be the same. Like what's the drive to keep it really going? Like no one really cares.
Microsoft Edge. I meant Excel.
Yeah, definitely
I don't know what that
Excel.
is.
Spreadsheets.
Yeah.
Spreadsheets, yeah.
That's right.
spreadsheets.
That's the one. That's what's going to keep it
build
That's
going.
what's gonna keep
spreadsheets
it
in there,
going.
yeah.
Like we've made strides in VR. in that short time when the HTC Vive was released to
Now,
2019 or the end of 2019. And at this point, like, it's just not delivering. It is fun, but I think it is novelty. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not progressing
no.
the way it needs to. It's not progressing.
Yeah, it needs it's it's hard for developers to put money into these things when it's like, I mean, they're
I'd
not
rather sit
moving
down
enough
on a screen.
units and stuff like that. Yeah, and they're getting to be more full experiences. They're just not God of War. There's no God of War. I mean, Half-Life Alyx is as close as we're gonna get as of this point, and I don't know if even Valve.
It wasn't enough.
Yeah,
It was great experience.
yeah.
I wish I finished it.
We're just.
I
not
mean, it's a
there yet.
one of a kind game
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah, like that wasn't even enough to really keep the ball moving.
Who knows? Maybe our kids will have something better. You know,
We'll see, man.
true AI
Yeah.
shit going on.
We'll find out. We'll see how it sells. Who knows? Maybe it's gonna sell like hotcakes.
They probably will.
They'll-
In this
they'll-
economy?
yeah.
Hey, you'd just be happy if you got the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I know. Holy crap!
Like, that's where your budget went.
Hey, probably the only way you can get another PlayStation 5 is a bundle pack with
Oh, you're right.
the PSVR 2.
Shit, $1,000. Would you pay?
GameStop's gonna have that.
Oh,
They're gonna
GameStop's
have
gonna
a
have it.
PlayStation plus PSVR bundle that comes with
Oh my God.
Horizon Call of the Mountain and 3 PlayStation games for only $1,400.
Only.
You get more stuff than the MetaQuest Pro for the same price.
Oh my God, you're right.
I'm good with my Quest that I have. So
Yeah.
I guess one thing about this though, you don't have to worry about battery life if it's plugged in. You know.
shut
That's what I was saying.
Fucking battery life, man.
Hey, if they
controller
made
is
it
low,
wireless, it'd
though.
probably be $1,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
True.
screw it.
Yeah. So let us know what you guys think about PlayStation VR 2. Is it worth your money? Are you gonna buy it?
No.
Let us know your thoughts, and we love to hear from you. So yeah. Thanks.
Thanks.
I don't know why I say thanks.
I don't
but,
know why either.
We love you.
Let me go pee real quick.